Hi, welcome to another video. So, Alibaba has just dropped another major surprise with the release of Qwen 3 Coder model and its associated Qwen 3 Coder CLI. And let me tell you, this thing is seriously impressive. So let's dive right into what makes this model so special and how you can start using it for your own coding projects. First off, let's clear something up. This is not a small model by any means. In fact, most of you won't be able to run it locally on your own machine because it's a massive 480 billion parameters model. That's a huge number. However, it's built on a mixture of expert architecture, which is a clever design that means only about 35 billion parameters are actively used at any given time during inference. This is similar to how models like Kimi DeepSeek works, allowing for powerful performance without needing to activate the entire causal model for every task, while they have hinted at multiple sizes coming in the future. Right now, the Qwen 3 Coder 480 billion parameter model is the main one available. Along with this powerful new model, Alibaba is also launching their very own command line tool specifically for agent coding called Qwen Code. This tool is actually forked from the Gemini Code CLI, and the Qwen team has adopted it with custom prompts and function calling protocols. The goal is to fully unleash the immense capabilities of the Qwen 3 Coder model on complex agentic coding tasks. When we look at its performance, especially on benchmarks like Swebench, it scores very well. It's performing above Kimi K2 and is just a tiny bit below Sonnet 4, which is truly amazing for an open source model. You can even integrate it with tools like Claude Code, as their official API support the Anthropic Schema API, and you can use it with any other agentic coder or even client. This kind of compatibility really opens up a lot of possibility for developers. One area where Qwen currently falls a little short is its context window, which is 256,000 tokens. This is still a very large context window, but some other models offers more. However, aside from that, this model is incredibly capable. I am actually adding more question and test cases for my own benchmarks, and I am planning to test more agents and models with this new setup. If you are interested, I can definitely put together a video dedicated to the best agents based on the questions I am crafting. Just let me know in comments. From my personal experience using these models, I think for my specific use case, Kimi is still a bit better. It has a certain feel to it that reminds me more of Sonnet, almost like a local version of Sonnet, which is fantastic. One thing Qwen does really well is that it does not spit out tons of unnecessary text. Kimi, on the other hand, tends to generate a lot of tokens for its answers. It often reasons through the problem right there in the output itself, which can sometimes make it a bit more expensive to use. Qwen, in contrast, is much more straightforward and to the point. But what I can tell you is that both of these models feel almost like Sonnet, and in some cases they might even be better. For instance, with platforms like Grok supporting open weight models, we could see Qwen running at super fast speed, overcoming some of the slower inference time often associated with Anthropic models. This is where open weight truly shines. Let's talk about how you can actually get your hands on this model and start using it. First, you can use the Qwen chat platform, which is amazing because you can use it for free. They even have a web development option that allow you to build small and simple applications. Beyond their own platform, Qwen 3 Coder is also available on OpenRouter. When you look at it on OpenRouter, you will see there are actually two versions available. One boasts an impressive 1 million token context window, while the other has a 262,000 token context window. Qwen has basically launched two variants of the model through their API. The Qwen 3 Coder Plus has its context length stretched using extrapolation technique to achieve that 1 million token context window. Then there is the standard open source variant, which comes with the 256,000 token context window. Now a quick heads up about their official API pricing. It's a bit strange, to be honest. The cost for the API goes from $1 up to $6 based on tiers of total context used. This means that if your usage crosses a certain context window tier, the cost per token can double or even triple, which is not great. For example, the output token cost for 1 million input tokens can go up to about $60, which is almost the same price as Opus. I am really not sure what their thinking was with this pricing structure. The same goes for the Qwen 3 coder with the 256,000 token context window, where it costs $22. That's insanely high for this model, especially when you consider you could use Sonnet for that price. Because of this, I really would not recommend using their official API at all. Third-party providers are offering the model for significantly less. For instance, with Hyperbolic, it's costing only $2 for both input and output, and Parasail has it for about $2 and $3.50, which are also very excellent prices. So definitely avoid the official API and opt for a third-party provider through OpenRouter, as it could save you a lot of money. If you want to use it with Cline, Roo or Kilo, it's pretty straightforward. Just head over to VS Code, go into Cline and then select the OpenRouter option. From there, you can choose the Qwen 3 coder model. You can also use Requesty, which is what I personally use. So that's another great option. Furthermore, you can use our code, just create a profile there and follow a similar setup. I use KiloCode myself and you can too, as it gave you $20 in free credits, allowing you to try out the Qwen 3 coder model through their platform. It's really good way to test the model with your own tasks without an initial investment. On various coding benchmarks like Terminal Bench, Sui Bench, ADER and Spider, Qwen 3 coder is not just outperforming models like new Kimi K2 model, but it also beating DeepSeek V3 and even competing with Claude Sonnet 4 in many agent capabilities. That's just insane to witness. Let's talk about few examples of what I have seen it generate. First, I had it create an animated weather card. My goal was to see how well it could handle front-end web application generation and whether it could accurately interpret my prompts to create a simple animation that reflects individual weather condition. And boom, you can see that it quickly generated a simple weather card for the weather in New York. It even depicted the correct animation for different weather types. So overall, it did a great job, and a cool feature I noticed is that you can deploy and share these creations as a link, which is pretty neat. It definitely passed my first test in generating a simple web application. Next, I asked it to create a software as a service landing page with many features. The reason I always use this prompt is to assess its front-end design capabilities and its proficiency in outputting polished UI and UX design. And there it was. It's truly impressive to see open source model nowadays generating such high quality front-end design. If you were to compare this to design generated by earlier models like Qwen 2.5, it would not even be close. Now we are seeing such fantastic generation from open source model that we can even deploy locally and have them generate such quality code. It's just incredible to see how far we have come. Finally, I wanted to test its abilities to create something practical and visually appealing without too much specific data input from my side. So I entered a very straightforward prompt: just generate an e-commerce dashboard. My goal was to see how well it could lay out common e-commerce metrics and present them in a clear, interactive way. And just like that, in a single shot, it produced a clean, functional e-commerce dashboard. It included key elements you would expect, like sales trend, customer demographics, and product performances, all presented in a way that was easy to understand. It did a very pretty and decent job of capturing the essence of a useful business overview. So at the end, it's really great to see this impressive new open source Qwen 3 coder. It is truly impressive on almost every front. It's a fantastic coder that outspaces many other open source models and genuinely competes with models like Claude Sonnet 4 and even Claude Opus. I hope you enjoyed today's video and found some value in it. All the links to get started with the Qwen 3 coder will be in the description below. Thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day. Remember to spread positivity, and I will see you in the next video.